Massive heat wave and rare tropical storm clash, Alda and Alberto update. Welcome to the weather forecast on the CIA TV channel. Dear friends, in today's forecast, we're breaking down what you need to know about the weather that will affect the United States over the next 7 days. We have a major heat wave that will hit the United States this weekend, causing temperatures to soar for millions. Additionally, we're giving a major update on Alda and Alberto, two storms that are about to do something very rare just off the coast of Florida. And finally, we're keeping an eye on a potential tropical system that could form in the northern Gulf of Mexico this weekend. We're going to see a pretty quiet weather pattern for the southern 48 states through Friday. This is the time frame where we're going to see a little bit of improvement. On Saturday, we're going to have some convection back into the Gulf, and this could actually form into something very weak. It could actually hit the Gulf Coast. And the potential for tropical development is actually pretty low. But on Sunday morning, we're going to have a very weak low pressure system forming near Louisiana. So, we're going to have to keep a close eye on that for some localized flooding that could happen there. We're also going to be watching a pretty strong low pressure system moving over the Rockies on Saturday. This could bring back some severe weather on Saturday or Sunday across the Central Plains and back into the Midwest. So that's going to basically boost the wind potential here across the entire area from Minnesota all the way down to Texas and even Oklahoma. Finally, early next week, the weather will be calm again. High pressure will dominate across the Great Lakes and the Northeast. The really warm weather will continue across the country, especially in the Great Plains and Midwest. Temperatures will be slightly below average, and a cold front will push into the Northeast and even back into Florida. So the entire East Coast will be dealing with below average temperatures Thursday and early Friday morning. And by the end of the week, the warm weather will continue across the Midwest. It will be a little cooler in the northern plains. And by the middle of next week, the warm weather will be back across the Great Plains. The heat wave will continue here into early October. And we'll get into what's going on in the tropics right now. Right now, just off the coast of Florida, we have Tropical Storm Alda, which is expected to become a hurricane later today. And actually, as we get deeper into the later part of the day today and as Alberto continues to move north, we're going to start to see Alda start to strengthen. They're in a relationship right now. We have Alda to the west. And then, just east of Alda, we have Alberto. These two storms are flirting with each other. They're very close together right now. And Alberto will continue to move north over the next 24 hours. And eventually it's going to move out to sea. Notice how close it is to Bermuda. With Alda, much of the outflow from Alda has actually gone as far north as Ohio, New York, and up into New England. We've also had some rain across the Corollas over the last few days from Alda. And right now is the closest that both Alda and Alberto will be to each other before they essentially split, as Alberto will move rapidly north and northeast over the next few days, away from Alda. Alda will be left alone in the extreme western Atlantic for the next few days as it continues to move east. However, we'll likely see Alda impact Bermuda as we head into Thursday, where we could actually see hurricane-force winds, along with the potential for heavy rainfall that could cause flooding. So again, Alberto and Alda will likely come back together as we get closer to Thursday. And finally, as we head into late Thursday into Friday, Alberto will move rapidly northeast and then head out into the northern Atlantic. There's also a low chance that it could try to turn back south and move down here. So again, I'm not really worried about anything for the United States other than Alda or Alberto. But a very rare thing that could happen with both Alberto and Alda is that over the next few days, these low pressure systems are going to be so close together that we're almost going to see them merge into one. We've ended up with two low pressure systems. one in the Ohio Valley and one in the Gulf of Mexico, and they're both merging into one, and that's created some catastrophic flooding. But fortunately, as Alberto actually moves much faster and stronger north, that's going to cause Alda to move out to sea with Alberto. By Thursday and Friday, we could really just see a really strong area of low pressure across the entire central and northern Atlantic. And then Alda will finally separate from Alberto around Friday and Saturday. And finally, as we head into next week across the tropics, I don't really see much of anything significant. So, we'll be paying attention to the Gulf of Mexico, but these are two new tropical waves. The first wave hasn't developed much. The second wave is concerning. This is high pressure heading towards the Azores. That's the barrier that's allowing these tropical waves to move westward. So we'll be watching some of those areas as we head into the weekend and next week. This first wave hasn't developed much, but it could bring us some additional rain later this week in the Caribbean. Finally, we saw some of the outer bands come into eastern Florida last night. There were also some gusty winds. We'll continue to see a little bit more rain across the Carolinas and Virginia. That's from some strong flow coming from Alda, but overall, no tornadoes, no heavy rains that could lead to really significant flooding. Now, the Carolinas, both North and South Carolina, Georgia and Florida, are seeing some scattered, fast-moving showers. And again, be careful of some very high surf showers. Now, Alda is moving away. It's 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's moving away from the Bahamas, the southeast United States. But we'll start to see tropical storm conditions move in around 4 o'clock to 5 p.m. in Bermuda tomorrow. So, today we'll see a southerly flow with Alberto moving around, bypassing Bermuda, but we could see some tropical storm bands and then Alda moving in tomorrow night. You can see the winds still blowing inland. We're seeing that from the outer banks of North Carolina all the way up to the northern Bahamas with gusty winds. We've had some heavy rain in a number of places over the last few days. Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, the Dominican Republic. Oh wow, nothing as unusual as the Dominican Republic, just a little bit more. So Haiti will be back to Cuba with some heavier rain. Areas of heavier rain in Central America. And then on Friday, we could see the rain increase towards the Cayman Islands and Jamaica. So we'll be monitoring that. There will continue to be some quick showers. But fortunately the heaviest rain will come from the northern Bahamas, where we need scattered Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic and Jamaica. If there are storms, it could be as much as 50 millimeters or 5 centimeters. Rain may or may not come from the Dominican Republic back to Puerto Rico, the British Virgin Islands and Anguilla, Saint Martin, Saint Bart, Saint Geneva, Antigua, Barbuda to Dominica. Rain may or may not come. We'll be monitoring some areas in Central America that still have heavier rain, with totals of over 100 millimeters. Looking west at Mexico City and still some scattered areas of rain, Cozumel, Cancun. Camp towards Merida, rain. We're tracking Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, the Florida Panhandle, and then continuing up the coast, North and South Carolina, with some scattered showers throughout the day. So Jamaica over the next couple of days, we've got a chance for scattered showers and storms. We've got a chance for some small showers around Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados. As we get into the weekend, we're going to see more moisture creep in. We're going to see that as we head towards St. Lucia. Some of the moisture that's lingering in the Atlantic is going to lift off. Rain chance. Grenada, St. Vincent, as well as Grenadines, Martinique are up to 30% chance for the next 3 days. And we're going to see that again in Dominica. Scattered showers are likely to be around 40% over the next 3 days as we head back towards Guadeloupe. Pantige, Barbuda. Scattered showers are likely over St. Kitts, Nice and Monzer with scattered showers in Gil and St. Barts. The chance of scattered showers in the British and US Virgin Islands drops to just around 20% tomorrow. The Bahamas are again scattered showers, but unfortunately Alda is finally leaving. Although heading towards Bermuda, the chance of rain in Turks and Caicos is 30%. A 50% chance over the next 2 days in Mexico City and a 60% chance, as I mentioned, across the Yucatan Peninsula. In northern Colombia, in northern Venezuela, we will continuously update the storm situation in the next news. Please subscribe to the channel to follow. Thank you for watching the news on CIA TV channel.